But again, like that's something that's not in our control, and when it comes to the game, we're going to be worried about the players on the ice and just ourselves as our team. But obviously, we're really excited for the support that we're going to have, but we have to do it for the people in the room.
Yeah, I'd say there's definitely a little advantage. Obviously, familiarity with the rink and just being in our own locker room is definitely a nice perk. But when it comes down, like T said, it's just all comes down to what happens on the ice at the end of the day. So.
For Tessa, when you kind of look back at the past month and a half, you've had a lot going on, busy, I'm sure. Where does this moment kind of stack up there for you, just in terms of all that you've accomplished here during your career?
Yeah, like it's obviously pretty high up there. This program has never made a Frozen Four, and to get to host it and have it be here is pretty cool. But I think it'll just be a testament to our team and to our leadership. I think it's going to test both leadership groups, not just ours, but theirs as well, just to see like what we both can bring. And I'm excited for it. Like I know our team's ready for it, and yeah, like to get this win, it'll be huge.
Hi, Tessa and Katie, this is for both of you. You guys have played together for 4 years now. You mentioned you came in with the team being unranked, and now you're in the Frozen Four. This is for both of you, but for each of you, what does the other one bring to the team that's been so special to playing alongside each other for the last 4 years?
I'd say Tessa, she's like the hardest worker that I've ever met. She's always going to give 110%, whether it's on the forecheck or the back check, and she's just honestly super reliable in both areas as well. So it's great to have been a part of her journey for the last 4 years.
Yeah, like getting Katie to start, these last like 2.5 years, it's been a huge difference in a lot of our games, and I'm really glad that she's been able to accomplish a lot of individual goals as well, like shutouts and that sort of thing. But it's so helpful to like know you have the goalie to back you up. Like that's why you're a team, and your team's going to be there to support you. And just like knowing that she's back there is, it just gives us a sense of kind of like relief as well.
Nicole Hazy, USCHO. Can I assume that like 4 years ago you guys were here watching the game, and sort of this weekend was circled kind of as you went through your college career, and can you just tell us sort of like coming to fruition and maybe reaching that goal of being able to play in this for your first Frozen Four at home?
4 years ago we were in high school, so we weren't here yet, but I'm sure all of us were watching. I remember that game, and I think we knew coming in that it was going to be here in 2026, and that was going to be our senior year, and we wanted to be in it. So I think that was kind of always our goal to get over that hump of like being a top 10 team and getting up to a top 5, and now in the Frozen Four. So I think what we've done as a senior class and just leadership group in general is kind of amazing. Just what we've done with the program just in these 4 years, and I know it's just going to continue to now, like once we leave it, it's going to continue to get better and hopefully remain a powerhouse.
Katie and Tessa, for both of you, after the game last weekend, both of you talked about reaching the Frozen Four, winning that game as a way to get respect for this program. What does respect mean to you guys, for this program, having respect?
You know first.
Yeah, I think it just means having us as third, and like no questions about it. I think when we first broke into that top 5, there were definitely some people being like, oh, their schedule's so weak, they don't deserve it. But I think we've shown it with the competition that we've played in the games that we've won. Obviously with the regional final, beating the 6th team in the country 3-0 talks for itself. So I think just kind of that, and having that outside noise kind of died down a bit.
Yeah, I would say it's more so just not getting respect from the top league. Regardless of what league you're in, it doesn't, like going with 5 losses the entire season is not something that's easy to do, and to do it for a month without 3 of our players also speaks to our team. And I think, like she said, we just like don't get respect, I think, in the entire NCAA as a whole. But hopefully like just making this Frozen Four and putting up a good game tomorrow, I think will hopefully change that narrative and get people to want to come here to the best facilities and hopefully one day the best team.
with the men's team making the Frozen Four last year and obviously gearing up for an NCAA tournament this year as well, do you guys communicate with them at all, like text or anything like that? And have you been able to get any advice from them about, playing in a Frozen Four or anything like that?
I feel like it's more so just kind of like when we see them around the rink, like they're excited for us, and I think they're gonna be there. So that's just them showing their support. I know Coach Godowski is very supportive of us. He's always like makes time to like go out of his way to talk to you about something or congratulate you on what we've accomplished. So like they were an underdog team last year, and they just worked really hard, and I know that's gonna have to be the kind of the way we play tomorrow. So if we can take anything from them, it's just kind of banding together as a team.
Tessa, when you kind of look at your legacy overall here, obviously you came here because you wanted to build, you wanted to be part of something like this. What do you hope hockey fans, but also Penn State fans, are gonna know about you if they don't already? Like, what do you hope they know about you?
That I'm a good teammate and not just like someone who can like achieve records on the ice, but more so like how I am with my team off the ice and people I meet off the ice. So like if that's really anything I'd want to leave here, it would be that. That's more important to me than individual success.
And a follow-up, if I may, when you kind of look at coming back from the Olympics and all the craziness, I'm sure, and all the excitement of that, how did you go about just kind of adapting to your regular day-to-day life as a student athlete at that point?
It wasn't like too much of a change. Like right now, I'm not in like a bunch of classes just because it's my last semester. But yeah, just getting back into class and like the schedule it was a little different. But I was like just happy to be back with our group, and these girls are like so fun to be around. Like the locker room's always loud, bus trips, like it doesn't matter. This is by far like the best and like most fun group I think we've had. So.
We have time for two more for the athletes. Tessa, you've played in the rivalry series. You've now played in the Olympics. Played alongside players whose talents exceed the NCAA. How would you say that playing in those environments has prepared you for this weekend?
I think just like being in those big like high pressure moments and being able to calm the room, because that's what those veterans did for us. In those moments, they helped calm the room and keep people steady and get them to like believe in themselves. So like that's what I try to do here, and just get us to believe in ourselves and that we are like a good team, that we belong. Obviously we belong here, but I feel like it was kind of a give and take. Like I think being here made me strong in every zone to where like I could be playing in those big moments with that team as well. So I think it's kind of a give and take situation, but I feel like it's more of a mental thing that I can bring back here.
Sorry, just walking with the mic. Katie, coming off your performance against UConn, how do you carry that momentum into tomorrow night? Is there any adjustments from what you've seen in terms of film from this Wisconsin team that you might have to make?
Yeah, I mean, there's adjustments with every team based on how they typically score. We know Wisconsin is a lot of heavy shooters, so just kind of maintaining that awareness that they're probably going to shoot, but also they have really good puck skills, so there's also backdoor options as well. So it's kind of more of a well-rounded game, whereas I feel like UConn was a lot of scrums in front of the net.
All right, student athletes are dismissed, and then we'll do questions for Coach.
Thank you.
USHO. Jeff, does the fact that, well, it's kind of an interesting bookend for this group with the Wisconsin games to start that season a few years ago. And I'm just curious, obviously the makeup of the teams have changed, but is there anything that you guys take from that, whether it's just how that opened up with a huge win and maybe gave your team some of the confidence that's helped build from here? But can you kind of talk about the bookend of that?
Yeah, I was talking to some people this morning, but that so Tessa, Katie, and the other seniors were first years, and Tessa had her first 2 goals, and really nice one barreling down the wing and a far side shot. And one of the parents at the time, Penn State parents, who's from the Syracuse area, likened Tessa to Carmelo Anthony when he showed up at Syracuse basketball and took over, and that was the same thing. Or that he likened Tessa to Carmelo at that time. Like, never seen somebody just come in and take the program over. And so they had mentioned just trying to schedule as tough as non-league competition as we can. It's always a jigsaw puzzle trying to find matches, but like that Wisconsin series, that was big for us at the time. Games along the way, like last year at Minnesota was big for us, and then this year playing Ohio State and Columbus in the beginning of January, that was a extremely physical series, and it was eye-opening for us, which is good. And I thought like 5-on-5, we had a really good showing. When we took penalties, we had a not so good of showing, and Ohio State took it to us on special teams. But those moments helped us along the way, and especially like that group, they're a super motivated group coming in, and they've all had like different paths. Like Tessa dominated right away, but someone like Maddie Christian, who didn't play a ton maybe first year, and then got better and better, scored over 20 goals last year. I think I forget where she's at this year, but like at some point she could have made a different a change of school or whatever that seems to be like happening now. But like that group stuck together as a cohesive unit like their whole 4 years, and that's something that I'm proud of for them, to see them leave together.
Coach Andrew Mercer, Daily Collegiate. You guys have been the favorites all season in conference play, but now against a blue blood program like Wisconsin, you guys find yourself in an underdog position. How, from a coaching perspective, does coaching this team change with those roles reversed?
That's a good question. Just again, like just coaching for me this year has been incredibly easy. I guess winning definitely helps that, but I have amazing staff. McKenna, Mo, Jen, they're all big champions at previous like places, or are really good players, and they can relate to a lot of the players and get them ready. So like to answer that specific question, like we really like focus on ourselves and our concepts and habits, and we know that like Wisconsin will be a speed change. Like the first 5 minutes of the game, like we need to come strong at them, but we know that like they're obviously skilled and quick and deep, but we like someone like Harvey is dynamite. We want to try to like maybe limit her chances, but we really like would pay attention to a few, but really try to focus on our game and keep it the same way, and execute like the three things that we really need to hone in on to be successful.
Jeff, when you kind of look at Tessa throughout her career, what she's been able to do for you guys, but also for this sport, what would, I guess, be your pitch to fans in the area that are maybe considering coming tomorrow, this weekend, to see her play? What would you pitch to them as, here's why you should come and see us and see her?
Yeah, again, really good question. So I've our student athletes, the community would know in certain situations, like we have Skate with the Nittany Lions, they read in schools and certain things like that. So, but without being around them day to day, you don't see how like good of humans they are. But beyond that, like I always tell them a tragically hip quote that I had, like no one's interested in something you didn't do, and so they're doing something and everybody's paying attention to them now. But I believe that they should have paid attention to them before, because it's a really good product on the ice. They're fast, they're skilled, and it's still like Penn State's a great community, and we have great sports teams here. And one of my first sporting events was Penn State volleyball, and those women were jumping through the roof, extremely like athletic, and they get 5,000 people at the rec hall. Sorry, and why can't we get 5,000 people here? Obviously, we haven't won a bunch of championships like they have, but our athletes are just as good. And so I don't know necessarily the answer to like baseball does dollar dogs and dollar beers, and so maybe that needs to like happen. But like I just think it's like, it's a really good, like as a pure hockey purist, it's a really good product. They move the puck well, they're physical. Like if you had come to, again, like the Ohio State series, like that was like, you know, a really, you know, you just hope like both teams came out like healthy. That's how like, you know, sort of like how much angst was in that series. But hopefully they do show up. I like so far I've heard maybe in the 3,500 range, but like it'd be nice to fill this whole place up. So.
Hey Jeff, when we were watching practice just now, it seemed like a lot of energy on the ice. You know, celebrating after goals. We saw singing "Happy Birthday" at center ice.
Yeah.
Things like that. So first of all, why do you think that's important to kind of have that energy during practice? Is that something that the players have naturally? Is that something that the coaches encourage? And then also, whose birthday was it?
It was Danny's birthday, so Danny Maynard, she's a dynamite first year player for us, and so like we always sing like happy birthday to those who, you know, on the day, and luckily during the season, if not, like we have a summer birthday day as well for those kids who don't get to enjoy it during the season. But energy is huge, and again, like I'm. Like if you talk to like say Pat Kraft, our athletic director, he's like infectious enthusiasm, and I'm always like kind of jealous of that because I'm not that. I'm like low key, so like I'm not the energy person, but like Kaylin Roberts is an energy person, and there's plenty of others down there that are energy people. And what Tess was talking about, it's the loudest group that I've coached in 30 years. Whether it's on the ice, whether it's in the lounge, on the bus, and then you know, like again, winning helps, but you know, like they're getting along with each other when they're loud.
Hey Jeff, Haley Salvi from the Athletic here. No team allows fewer goals per game than Penn State this season. What is it that makes your group so difficult to beat?
Just like habits, and we focus on trying to take away time and space. So like when we recruit, we try to recruit skaters who have that mobility to take away time and space. If we do get in trouble, like Katie's back there to help, but again, like we try to limit as many shots as possible. Playing against Wisconsin obviously presents a new challenge in terms of you know, the depth that they have, and we need to make sure that we stay inside the dots and have a good F3, all that kind of stuff. But like we preach those habits all the time. That's kind of like all we care about, like, because conceptually, like we can kind of and systematically we can adjust, but as long as we maintain like 7 or 8 like habits that like they know that's ingrained in their head by now, then we can try to lock things down.
And just a follow up from me, I'm sure you get asked this all the time, so I apologize, but what does Tessa Janecke mean to this program, and can we just get your reaction to her being a finalist for the podcast?
Yeah, like Tessa again is she's a rising tide that's lifted all the boats. She came in as not only on the ice but like off the ice, had set the standards in the weight room, and then connecting teammates along the way. So that goes that's huge. It's hard to you know, when you're an elite player like that, like for the other players, sometimes it's like maybe hard to play with her, or the kids are a little nervous or whatnot, and so she puts them like at ease, and is just one of the other women down there where, you know, she is Tessa, but like you wouldn't really know it by chatting with her. And she's also like, I mean, our team is like great students. Like we had the highest GPA this fall, and so I think that's like a testament to those seniors too. Like they came in, like this chemical engineers. There's like, you go down the list, like they came here to win and to study. And Tessa's like, you know, the leader of that. So.
Questions up front?
Kind of following up with that, when in those high pressure moments when she is that calming presence, how does she go about doing that, and having someone who's obviously gone through those moments when it comes into now, what has she been kind of saying to the team this week?
Yeah, she's not like Tessa's not like overly talkative. She can like when she speaks that like it's important. It's not like unnecessary, if that makes sense. But like she does more of a lot of, she calms things down by one like winning faceoffs. And so like, you know, when she wasn't around, players like stepped up in her absence. But one of the things like without her, we ended up like chasing the puck a lot and having to go get it. And with her, like we start with the puck a lot of the time. So like she calms it down that way. In these like NCAA games, the timeouts, so like the 3 media timeouts get longer, so she can add a little bit more like verbally, but it would just be like, you know, keep your feet moving. Again, it would be focused on like what our habits need to be at that time. And when it comes from her, like that's important, because as like coaches, they've heard it a million times, but it's better coming from their peers.
Got time for one more, Audrey.
Well, keep it on Tessa for a second. Given where college sports are at right now with all the changes, and I know roster retention is paramount everywhere, was there ever a moment where you're like, all right, I hope we have her for the whole time? Or how did you ever have to worry about that? Or
I would say every year with all athletes, with one program in particular, but like that's, we try to, hopefully all the colleges can maintain their players, and each program has a good, healthy family aspect to it, along like getting better as humans and hockey players. But yeah, like it's crazy. I was just actually talking to Sturtsy, the men's assistant, and he's basically saying like, enjoy this moment, because when they went through it last year, they were thinking of like the transfer portal the next day, and that happens for us on Monday too. And with, you know, the changes happening, it's like crows flying around and picking on like fresh carcass, and that's not the enjoyable part. So like the enjoyable part is like are these the women that you get to coach like every day and see them and maybe play a game of ping pong against them or talk, you know, that's the cool part of it. But like yeah, we do. To answer your question, you have to recruit your own roster every year now, which is unfortunate. But.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.